Good morning, beautiful souls. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm here in my husband's office, so I'm hoping that the sound is okay. I wanted to be here to make sure that my kiddos weren't joining the party because they would. So let's get started. Let's get in a good headspace to talk about our third eye and crown. So let's start with a guided meditation. Taking 3 cleansing breaths. With each breath, breathe in source energy and breathe out what no longer serves you. We set the intention today to bring in source energy, love consciousness, and all of our guides and highest good into this lovely space today. And I'm really excited. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how I start my practice. With the third eye and crown chakra, you want to make sure that your space is clear. So what I did is I already went ahead and saged the room and myself. And again, this is just how I do it. So there's many tools out here. This is how I like to clear my space. So I just got sage, Palo Santo, and I've got some sweet grass from a local natural store here. I also have some incense going to clear the space. And those are some tools. Now you don't need to use all these tools. I'm just showing you a wide variety of how I like to get my vessel clear so I can bring in source energy and be a conduit for the highest good for you today. So I'm not affiliated with any sort of spray. This is just one particular I have. And this one is a perfect purification and protection. So I just go ahead and spray that. And again, there's no right way to do this. It's just whatever resonates for you, whatever makes you feel confident and clear when you're channeling information. So I have a PowerPoint over here. So if you see me looking over, I'm just keeping myself on track. So today we're going to talk about activating, healing, and trusting the third eye and crown chakra. So these are some of my favorite things. I've been an intuitive for several years now. I've been on this journey to get here since 2012, as many of you have. So shout out to all the healers and light workers, and just those of you who are ready to help the collective. Your third eye and crown are a great way to tap into that wisdom and inner knowing to help the collective moving forward, and yourself, of course, because we have to heal ourselves before we go out into the world. I'm just going to double check to make sure we're live. Okay, good. All right. So today we are going to talk about how to open and activate your third eye and crown, be a clear vessel for higher frequencies, practice makes perfect, trust, and ceremony and tools. We're going to go over some quick basics. We're going to talk about the third eye chakra, usually represented by the color indigo. And let's see. Oh, some crystals that work really well for this are the opal, azurite, lapis lazuli, and some essential oils that work really well are juniper and clary sage. And then this is like where you perceive your inner wisdom, your knowing. And positive qualities are vision, intuitive dreams, insight, perception, clairvoyance. And if it's blocked, you might see yourself with vision problems, migraines, nightmares, bipolar, sleep disorders, sinus issues, hallucinations, and lack of intuition. Now let's jump to the crown chakra. So usually violet or white light is represented here. And it's about, your consciousness. And crystals to help are diamond, amethyst, and clear quartz. Essential oils are lavender, frankincense. And it's a connection to spirit and wisdom, to the higher realms, to higher frequencies, to source energy, to your higher self as well. Oneness with the divine. And Its positive qualities are unity, wisdom, awareness, intelligence, understanding, miracles, bliss. And then if you're out of balance, Alzheimer's, confusion, mental illness, over intellectualism, depression, anxiety. So here's some affirmations for the third eye chakra. I am intuitive and follow my inner guidance. I always see the big picture. I avidly follow my dreams. And then for the crown, I am intelligent and aware. I am one with everything. I am a source of the divine and I live in the now. Okay, so those are the basics. Just to get you and I mean, many of you probably already know this, but it's always good to have a little, reminder. Okay, let's get started. So being a clear vessel is what really helped me. Now, I'm not saying this is the right way or the only way, but for me, being a clear vessel really helped move me into that, awareness and higher realms and higher frequencies and trusting my intuition. So how do you do that? This is just one way. Again, for me, I started with my diet, right? How can we be a clean vessel, a clean conduit of energy if we are full of toxins? So organic food is a great way to do that. Now I have a whole book on that called Minimalist Living for a Maximum Life. If you want to dive really deep into that, I go through it very deep, but for now, let's just talk about where to start. You can start with, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So you want to look into those foods that have the highest toxicity level and get those organic first. And as you manifest abundance, you're going to start spending more and more money on clean food, vitamins, clean water, and all that good stuff. So organic food was the biggest thing I noticed. The body, every cell in the body regenerates after some organs are 7 years, some are 10 or 12, so it kind of depends, but overall I just kind of say 7 to 10 years. So if you don't expect this to happen right away, right? Now that doesn't mean your abilities aren't going to awaken. It just means to once to get all these toxins out of your body, it's going to take a while. So most people, when they switch to organic food, what they notice is they actually get worse before they get better. So don't be discouraged if you start having symptoms. So I actually ended up having a Hashimoto immune issue come up because I was detoxing so quickly. So I had to really tone it down a notch and slowly detox. Clearly my throat chakra was pretty blocked if I had a thyroid issue. So the point being is that be patient with yourself, but organic food is the best place to start. Now, if you are worried about money, again, always start with getting at least those Dirty Dozen as organic. And if you, I eat meat, and if you don't, that's amazing, awesome. But meat is also really important to get really clean. You want antibiotic, hormone-free, grass-fed, and ideally organic if you can. And local is always awesome too. So, food. Start with food. And you'll manifest abundance. If it becomes a priority for you, you will manifest abundance to get that clean food into your body. So, next step on my journey to open my third eye and crown chakra was mild detoxes. Now, I'm going to emphasize the mild because, again, at first I did it too fast and I had to tone it down a bit. So, some ways to just mildly detox your body are cilantro, turmeric, lemon water. There's all these detox teas that you can get, and mineral salt baths. So now a lot of people are talking Epsom salt baths, and those are a great start. If you can find a natural store, an herbalist, something like that, where you can get mineral salts, because Epsom salts are kind of man-made, and so the lady that I get it from, it's sea salt, magnesium or manganese flakes, and then there's a few other things that help with the detoxing process. And I always throw organic apple cider vinegar in that bath. And if you don't have a bath, you can do a foot soak. But doing that a couple times a week, really a noticeable difference. And it helps detox those, not only the energy, but also just the actual, foods and chemicals and things that our modern world has. So mild detoxes. Now, if you want to go crazy, there's some really intense detoxes, but I would definitely go to a naturopath or a holistic doctor to help guide you through that, such as coffee enemas and things like that. So, but definitely have, someone who's been through it before, who can guide you through that process if you want to do a little bit more deeper cleanse. There's, there's like deworming stuff and parasite cleanses and all that. So, but I would highly recommend finding a professional for that. And next, okay, so to be a clear vessel, we need clean water. So this, I also noticed a huge difference. And again, be patient with yourself. The third eye, our pineal gland, it gets calcified, right? And there's some debate on this, whether the calcification is good or bad. I'm just going to tell you my experience. When I follow the protocol to detox my pineal gland is when my psychic abilities awoke. So, again, you can do your own research, follow your own heart. But for me, I had to get rid of all water that has fluoride. So that's number one, because fluoride is a carcinogen and it is a toxin and it messes with your pineal gland and your connection to source and your psychic abilities. So eliminate all fluoride. So that means you're using purified water, you're using spring water, you can use reverse osmosis, Keegan water. So there's lots of different options, but definitely you want filtered chlorine, fluoride-free water. Also, something to think about is this isn't only the water you drink, right? Because our bodies, anything that touches our skin goes into our bodies within 20 to 30 seconds, I believe is what the number is. So if you're showering with fluoride and chlorine, and the prescriptions that do not get filtered out of the city water, that is going to affect you. So I'll give you a quick thing. So for me, we moved from our tiny house on wheels into an apartment. And when we did that, I noticed I was starting to get brain fog and I couldn't think and I couldn't have a deep connection to source. And I was having trouble channeling for my clients and talking to their guides. What I realized is that we went from, our huge filter in our tiny house, our huge water filter where the whole house is filtered, all the water is filtered, into a non-filtered shower and bath. So I was taking these detox baths with unfiltered water. So what we did to solve that problem is we got a shower filter, and what we do is we fill up the bath with the shower head. So that works for us. But we still do our dishes with regular water, and we're working on figuring out how to filter that water too. But ideally, water is life. Water holds memory. Water holds frequency. So we want clear, pure water. I'm trying to think of the name of that documentary. There's a water documentary that talks about this and the different ways that, water in nature, water, it's, nice, it's flowing, it's filtering on its own, it's alive. And then city water is just recycled and it's bombarded and it's dark and it's dreary and it's chemicals and all these things. So, I wish I would have wrote that down, but there are lots of, if you go on the Gaia TV, you can find the water documentary and watch it. I highly recommend that. Water is super important. Okay, speaking of water, to help decalcify your third eye and open up your crown and be a clear vessel, any sort of trace minerals. Again, this brand was just at the grocery store. It's a clean brand that I like, but I'm sure you can find something similar. Trace minerals. So we need to be supported. Our bodies want to be at its highest frequency, and to do that, we need tools like minerals in our water. And what happened is these minerals and nutrients used to be in our soil, but they have been depleted. So our soil is no longer nutrient dense, and so we have to add it back in. And also, if you're filtering your water, like we use reverse osmosis, that's called dead water because it takes everything out, including all the minerals and everything. So you want to add those minerals back in so that you can be a clear vessel for higher frequencies. Oh, okay. So now we're going to jump into body care. So, it's so interesting. I assure you, all this has to do with your third eye and crown chakra. Because again, we want our bodies to be feeling good. We want to be, at our highest frequency we can. And how do we do that, right? First, we cleanse the body. Now we take care of the body care. Okay, I'm just gonna list a bunch of stuff that works for me. There's much more out there, but my body likes to use a variety of tools to stay in alignment. So first of all is chiropractor. I bet you weren't expecting that. Chiropractor has been an amazing tool for us. We go every other week. I find my body resonates with it a lot, and that's been a great thing for us to use. And then we have massage. I have a great lady in town who actually does massage, tuning forks, and sound therapy at the same time. So that is an amazing healing tool. But massage can really help release some of that, any tension in our body is stale energy. So we want to, massage, and a lot of massage therapists are also intuitives or Reiki practitioners. So you can find a massage therapist that can intuitively release that trauma and talk you through it while they're doing the massage. Acupuncture is always great. Tuning forks, any sound healing in general is awesome. I have a lady, again, that does the tuning forks and the sound therapy. She has gongs, and she aligns that sound to my astrological chart and what I need at that time. Of course, yoga, we all know yoga, stretching is really great. Of course, any exercise like walking, hiking, getting out in nature, tapping. Tapping is really cool. Tapping your third eye, tapping your crown. Okay, and there's tons of YouTube videos. I'm not an expert on this. I usually just pop on to a YouTube video. But tapping can help awaken your third eye and crown chakra. Tapping your heart. There's lots of really cool YouTube videos out there and practitioners. So tapping, I highly recommend. I can't say that I'm very good at keeping on top of that, but it is a great practice. Dance, keeping your body a vessel for higher frequencies and intuition through dance. So some of my best meditations and channelings have come through while dancing to music. If I was smart, I'd write it down what came through, but I just kind of let it flow. And but yeah, dancing is a really great option. And then martial arts and Qigong. It's Qigong. So any sort of an intentional movement. So again, you don't need to do all those things for body care. I'm just putting out my favorites so you can get your body in alignment more quickly. All right, practice makes perfect. Here is where we really dive into more specifics. So that was kind of basics on how to get our body in a place where we can open and align and activate our third eye and crown. But here's some fun ways to do it. Okay, automatic writing. So I've been running classes locally, and we do this really fun practice where we all sit down in a circle and we, set the intention, set the mood, clear the space. So we're going to do this together right now really quick. So here I'm going to clear the space for you. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and get yourself a piece of paper and a pen. Okay, now, the key to this is trusting. Now, what I like to do is I set the intent for all biases aside and everything to come in to be of love consciousness, of source energy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just think of something with my third eye or crown. Okay, I'm hearing that I have a slight crown blockage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let the words flow. I'm just going to write down and see what comes through. Because in my head is empty. I'm not thinking. I have no agenda. I'm coming from the heart and letting the information come in from the crown of where that blockage is. So go ahead, when you're ready, think of a blockage that you have, and then use your automatic writing to find out the clues to that. Now again, I'm not thinking, I'm just allowing the pen to write. I'm not in my head, I'm in my heart, and I'm channeling source energy through the crown and using my intuition on my third eye to find this blockage. Okay, so I did a little bit of automatic writing for you, just as an example to show you how to practice. This is a great tool to open up your third eye and crown, is automatic writing. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be an issue. Sometimes you can be channeling source energy and wisdom from past lives or your current life or higher self, angels, whoever you want to speak with. Automatic writing is a great way to take your mind out of it and just allow the wisdom to flow. So for me, I got that the small blockage in my crown came from self-doubt. I need to lessen my coffee intake, and I need to be barefoot in nature more this week. Again, blockages come and go. It's not like, if you can have partial, half, 3/4 full, whatever. You can have any percentage of blockages, and it's not like they stay forever. They come and go as you learn and evolve and use your practices. So if it comes through in your channelings that you have a blockage, don't feel like, oh no, what do I do, right? Because these blockages come and go. Okay, so that was an example of automatic writing. Now let's tap into automatic drawing. Oh, back to automatic writing real quick. This is really fun to do with a partner or in a group setting. So what we would do is we would think of 3 words, and then we would have, for example, I would meditate 3 words, and then I'd have my group try to write down one of those words. And every single time we've gotten this, everyone has at least one of the words out of the 3 correct, or at least, a variation of the word. Like if it was joy, they have laughter. If it was, sunshine, they had, whatever, rays or yellow or something. So automatic writing is a great way to practice and improve your psychic and intuitive gifts. So automatic drawing, basically the same as automatic writing, but you're using pictures. So, let's do it together just for fun. Okay, so I'm going to draw 3 pictures. Now these are going to be a noun, a person, place, or thing. And let's see if you can get one of these. Okay, so I'm telepathically sending the image to you to help increase that energy connection so that you can get one of the images. And again, I'm writing 3 images that are a noun, a person, place, or thing. Okay, I'll give you a couple more minutes to think about what I'm drawing. This is a really fun practice to do. I like doing this with a partner or groups to practice my intuition. And if you don't get it right, it's not because you're not intuitive, right? It takes practice. It takes a lot of work. And sometimes it's certain energy connections with certain people can be different too. So don't be hard on yourself. But let's see what you got. So excuse my kindergarten drawing here, but I got mountain, tree, and bird. So it'll be fun to see if you got any of those or a variation of those. So in automatic drawing is a great way to increase your third eye and crown chakra activation. All right, we're gonna go to the next practice that I like to use with my classes is telepathic practice. What am I thinking? Where am I? What color am I wearing? So you can do this either in your classes or in your groups, or I have a friend that I practice with. Well, we'll just play around with, we'll be on the phone and I'll be like, okay, so are you in your bedroom? And she'll be like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. And I'll be like, okay, so you're thinking about how work has been really busy lately, right? And so things like that. So practicing your telepathic capabilities is really fun. And with the energies right now, with the collective and all of the solar flares and Schumann resonance spikes and everything coming in, all this new energy coming in, it's really exciting. I'm sure you're noticing these telepathic gifts opening for a lot of people. So for example, my friends and I in town, we it's a small town, so we run into each other, you know, maybe once a month. But now we'll be thinking of each other, and then there they are at the grocery store. Or we'll be thinking of each other, and then they're at the farmer's market. Or, you know, or we're thinking of each other, and then they answer their phone. So telepathy is going to be the future of humanity as far as it's going to awaken. And it's really fun to see and work with that energy. So practice makes perfect. So practicing, you know, automatic writing, automatic drawing, telepathy are great ways to increase your third eye and crown frequency. And again, I just put a note, group practices are really fun. So if you want to incorporate that into a group setting, have meditation meetups where you start with clearing your energy, pulling in source, and then doing a group practice is really fun too. And take turns being the leader, okay? This is really important because our students become our teachers. So be sure that you have, you know, everyone practicing being the leader. And so that's, if they want to, of course, not everyone wants to do that, but offering it up to people so that they can, you know, gain that confidence in their psychic abilities. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Ooh, okay. So, trust. This is a big one. And this takes, you know, for some people, it takes more time than others. For me, it was a huge process in trusting my intuition and my connection to source. So, you know, again, as we talked about earlier, the first step is getting your body clean as it can. Some people can channel and have psychic abilities and have intuition without, they are just, you know, just imagine what they're gonna bring in when they are a clean vessel, right? For me, I had to clean my body first, and I had to, you know, do all these body care practices. But then once I started practicing, it was, you know, practice is only as good as you trust yourself. So this dives into some of the other chakras, right? Like your solar plexus, your power center, your confidence, releasing self-doubt through your, you know, sacral, and feeling grounded through your root chakra. So of course, all the chakras are always at play. We're just focusing on the third eye and crown today. So I always get the question, how do I know that it's not just my mind, my brain? How do I know that what I'm getting, the information that's coming through, isn't just my brain going, you know, spinning its wheels? And this takes a lot of practice, and it comes down to trust. And something this YouTuber said, sometimes I ask the information coming through to come through in a different voice. I thought that was really cool. I don't do that, but when I channel higher dimensional beings, sometimes that happens when I speak it. But when it comes in as my own voice. So how do I know this isn't my head? Well, one of the indicators it's not just your brain is that it's stuff that you couldn't possibly know, right? So, for example, like when we were doing the automatic writing, I love coffee, okay? And it came through that my slight crown blockage is because I'm drinking way too much coffee. Okay, I would never say that because I love coffee. So, but it's true. I have a 2-year-old at home, and he's learning to talk, and he's developing. And so I've gone from not even half a cup of coffee a day to like 3 cups of coffee a day. Also because of all the crazy solar energy and the collective going bonkers and all of that. So I've been chugging coffee. Well, my brain would have never said, oh, it's the coffee is part of your blockage, because I don't want to stop drinking coffee. I love coffee. So anyway, that's one way that I know that this is coming from a higher source. This is coming from my higher self, a frequency that's higher than my brain, just, you know, because my brain would say, just drink all the coffee you want, you're fine. So that's one way that you can know. Another way of knowing is just practicing, right? So when I'm doing sessions with people, there's no way I can know, right? Like, for example, I'm practicing channeling, let's say I'm channeling a solar plexus blockage, right? And I know this person, but I don't know them to the extent that I could ever possibly know this specific detail about them. So that's really where the practice comes in. As you practice bringing in information and using your intuition, you're going to see those affirmations coming in and those synchronicities coming in. It does take time and it does take practice, but the more that you practice, the more you can dive into self-trust, right? Because you get those affirmations. speaking of affirmations, something I use is at the beginning of my journey is I use cards to help me, again, get those affirmations. So what I would do is I would channel the information, bring in my higher self and source energy to get the answer for either myself or someone else, okay? Then I would pull the cards, and then that would manifest into, oh wow, oh my gosh, the cards are saying exactly what I was thinking or channeling through my intuition, and so that would affirm it. Now, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need affirmations, but we are human, so affirmations help build our confidence, helping our solar plexus, helping our heart, helping us trust ourselves. So I do use tools at the beginning, and even now, if I'm tired, I often use my tools just to get some affirmations. So yeah. Also, intention goes a long way, right? Everything is energy. So if you trust that the highest good is coming through you and wisdom is coming through you, then it will, right? Everything is energy. Whatever we put out there comes in. I get a lot of questions about lower vibrational beings and entities and demons and all this and that. So that's never been in my sphere, because for me personally, energy is energy. It's either a lower frequency or a higher frequency. The lower frequencies only have power over you if you believe they do. So I've never had issues, and I've even had I actually have to use my pendulum to find an attachment, because I'm at a frequency where it doesn't bug me. I'm not better. I've learned to work with energy and not be afraid. So when you release that fear, you can really step into your power and be a conduit for source, right? And when lower frequencies come in and try to mess with me, I'm like, hey, what's up? What are you trying to teach me, right? They're not evil, okay? They're a lower frequency, and lower frequencies are here to teach us something, okay? So it actually took a friend of mine recently to find an attachment. It wasn't on me, but it was on my family, a couple of my family members. And so what I did is I used a tool, right? Again, I channeled it first, wrote down the information, but then I wanted to affirm it for myself. So I used, I had got this pendulum board online. There's many like it. So it's really neat, because you can, first I asked, is it time to remove this entity? And then it would go back and forth to yes. And then I could even dive deeper, what would be the best method to remove this entity or this lower frequency? And then it would spell it out for me. So this board does have letters, which is kind of handy. If you don't have a board, you can just do show me yes. Okay, forward and back. Thank you. Show me no. Okay, so this is a great tool, again, just to help build confidence in your intuition and the information you're bringing in. So tools have been really helpful for me, just to build that confidence. All right. So again, going back to setting intention. So if I set the intention that all the information coming in is of the highest good, of highest energy, highest source, you can bring in angels, whatever you want to bring in. It's just setting that intention alone is enough. As we talked about in the beginning of the live series, you can use essential oils, you can use anything to clear your space. But setting the intention, part of using those tools is to just set the intention. I intend for the clearest energy to come in for the highest good. And that's all you need. Intention goes a long way, okay? Because you're speaking it into reality. Okay, next is clearing practices. We already went over that. Practicing on friends, we talked about that. Synchronicities. This is really fun. So I like to play with energy sometimes. So on the way here, I asked my guides and angels and higher self to bring a fun song just to get me pumped up and just get me in the zone for bringing in the best information for the collective. And a song came on, and I don't know the song, but the lyrics were something about I believe in God and God believes in me, and we are a loving humanity or something like that. And I was like, oh, of course. So yeah, play around with synchronicities a little bit, practice your manifestation. Again, these are just ways to affirm that your third eye and crown chakra are open and working, and it helps. It's kind of fun. It adds some like inner child joyfulness to it, right? We don't want to be so serious and all the time. We want to bring joy into our intuition practice to awaken that inner child. And the more that you are in love and joy, the easier it is to bring in higher frequency, right? If we take it so seriously. And let me give you an example. So I was talking with a friend the other day, and there's like these, we call them spiritual gatekeepers, right? Like you have to use the pendulum a certain way, and you have to do it this way, otherwise it doesn't work. Or, you have to use a certain kind of sage. And now people are even saying, don't use sage, use cedar. And, everyone's kind of these gatekeepers of what's right and wrong. And I apologize for laughing about it, but I can't help but laugh, because it's like, who are you to say, as long as your intention is of love and that you have, the collective and your highest good in mind, it's going to work because you say it works, right? Because your intention, because your energy, your heart going into it believes that it's for the highest good, right? So I'm just going to throw that out there. But yeah, you'll notice as your intuition and your crown chakra open and activate, you're going to have synchronicities coming into your life. I always do the starter packet of watching The Secret or the Law of Attraction, but then really dive into the 7 universal laws. The more we have that background knowledge, the more, again, it's just all about building that confidence and trust in yourself. And then having a Gaia TV subscription is really great. There's so much information on there, and just constantly being a learner, right? I'm never going to say that I am the expert at this. I'm just offering my perspective and what's worked for me, so that, you can take what works and leave the rest, right? None of us are correct, right? The only source knows that. Only source knows, what is the highest good, and why would, someone's practice coming from the heart space be wrong, right? So have fun with this and use the tools that work for you. On that note, everyone is a psychic. Everyone can be telepathic. Everyone can channel source. Everyone can do this. This whole presentation is just giving you tools and practices that worked for me to help you get there. But everyone can do this. And as we jump into the age of Aquarius, the sun is helping us with, higher frequencies coming in, as Mother Earth is evolving and bringing in all that higher frequency for us, and she's shifting into a new consciousness, and we're going with her. As all that's happening, we're going to notice things like our synchronicities and psychic abilities and telepathic abilities awakening. And I'm a learner in this, because as my gifts develop and Mother Earth develops, it's now we're all learning, okay, now how do we use this for the highest good, right? Because we're playing with it, we're practicing, we're learning, but what that could look like hasn't happened on Earth yet. It's happened on other dimensions and other timelines and other planets, but for here, we're building it right now. So this is fun, this is exciting. So in the comments, be sure to tell me what's working for you, what you've noticed as the awakening is in process, and how it's playing out for you. I think telepathy is going to be interesting, because we really have to, release judgment and of ourselves and others. So let me give you an example. So as you become, your third eye really activates and your telepathy increases. So, the old me would judge somebody for their behavior. Let's say they spank their children in public, right? Okay, I personally choose not to spank my child. If someone else does, that's their journey, and that that's them, and that's fine. I love and support them, and they can, they'll learn through that process. For me, the old me would judge somebody for spanking. Well, if we're telepathic and that person instantly is like, I'm not saying anything, I'm just looking and I'm observing and I'm thinking, and that person looks at me and be like, what? So we're going to get to this place where we really have to come to terms with what we're thinking, right? And really shift into the heart space and release judgment, because people are going to become very aware of what we're thinking. And many of you who have already opened or partially opened your third eye and crown chakra, you'll be in a room and you'll be like, why is this room so uncomfortable? I cannot be in this room. I need to get out. I don't know why, but I need to get out of here. So especially with lockdowns and COVID and masks and all this, you know, I would go into the grocery store during the lockdowns, and I had to just quick grab what I needed and get out of there. The energy was so dense, and I could like hear what people were thinking and feel what they were feeling. It was like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. So you're going to find yourself needing to spend more time in nature as you learn to really hone in on how to keep your aura and your space clear and protected, so that you can be in those spaces and not just be, it's like the downloads coming in so quickly all the time. I heard somebody say something really great. Put a gatekeeper up there, okay? You don't want to be channeling source energy or your higher self or your intuition at all times. That's exhausting. And you need to give your body a break, because it's a new thing for many of us. Some of you are experts, and that's amazing. I have to take breaks. So I call upon my guides and my higher self, and I say, you know what, today I'm going to shut it down. I'm not going to download anything today. I'm going to upload from Mother Earth. I'm going to upload from source. I'm going to receive. Today is going to be a day of receiving for me. And you're going to notice a shift in your energy, because it's so much fun when you're learning and you're at the beginning stages and you're, oh wow, I'm like channeling information, I'm getting all these downloads, this is so amazing. But if you don't take the breaks, you're going to burn out. And you know, I get into burnout mode. I'm a Capricorn and I have 5 different planets in Capricorn. I'm North Node in Taurus. I'm Virgo rising. So I'm very guilty of the doing. Like, I have to learn, I have to know everything, I have to organize it and do all this stuff. So for me, it's super important to put my gatekeeper up, keep myself grounded, and not always be downloading information. So that's one thing I learned the hard way, because I was so excited about it and learning light language and channeling other dimensional beings. I got so pumped up that I was just always an open conduit. And sometimes you need to shut down and just allow yourself to receive love and source energy and grounding energy from Mother Gaia. All right, I'm going to take a pause because that came in really fast. Okay. Whew. All right. Next, releasing expectations. Okay. When you're working on your third eye and crown chakra, you really want to release what should and could be. This is so important. So a lot of my students and clients, they're like, well, Emily, I can't do what you do, so I must not have an open third eye and crown chakra. Well, you're not me. You're not supposed to be me. Your unique, beautiful gift is needed for the collective, and your unique spark is different than mine. Okay, so my specific gifts are channeling. I have a deep connection with the ETs and other dimensional beings. I definitely feel like a starseed. And that's just my unique gift. So I channel light language, and I use it for meditation, and I use it for activating and removing blockages. And that's just my specific channel, my energy signature. Now, you can go down this rabbit hole on YouTube where you're like, well, my gifts aren't as good as theirs. Mine aren't as good as theirs. And you have to remember that you can be psychic and channeling source and have your crown chakra open, but it's not going to look the same as it does for everybody. You might not want to work with tarot or oracle cards. You might not want to, be a Reiki practitioner. You might not want to use the pendulum. You find your unique spark. I'll give you a quick example. One of my clients was really struggling with this. They were like, oh, your gifts are special. Like, you can channel, and that brings in the crowd, that brings in the money. Okay, but that's your perspective. That was his perspective, okay? And I encouraged him to step into his power and his unique gift, because his gift, we're working with the elven energy, the elemental energy, the nature spirits. We actually did a really cool hike where we live in an area where there's a lot of Sasquatch energy, Bigfoot, and they're just higher dimensional beings. And so we went on this hike, and he could feel them. And he's like, what is that? I'm like, well, that's your connection to the Sasquatch. Oh, I wish I could channel them. I'm like, you can. Sit down, breathe. And so he finally let his mind stop, and he stepped into his heart, and he was able to tap into that energy because he trusted. He finally trusted, okay, that is the energy I was feeling. I couldn't put words to it, but when I sat with it and I let go of what I was thinking, and I just allowed the energy to come in, he realized he was channeling the Sasquatch energy. And it looks different than him. He doesn't necessarily channel like words, but he channels like big picture things. Like, and I told him, you know, what a wonderful gift that you can walk around and heal nature. So then he realized in meditation, he's supposed to go around and make portals of light and activate this area. Okay, so that looks very different than what I do, and that's good. Okay, so be patient with yourself and release those expectations of what it should or could look like, and just allow it to come through. And it's going to evolve and change. I didn't always channel light language. I didn't always work with tarot or oracle cards. I didn't always use my pendulum. So it starts off and looks differently for everyone. And the more that you can sit with yourself, meditate, and think about, I would make a list of what you enjoy, what you like to do, and then how that can be used to serve the collective. And even ask source, ask your higher self, ask your guides, your angels, whoever you speak with, ask them to bring your gifts out and forward so that they can become known to you. And that might be that it could look like a song, it could look like a new friend or a new meditation class, or it could look like you start following somebody on YouTube and you notice, oh, their gifts are kind of like mine. Oh, wow. And then you kind of develop your little unique way of your intuition and gifts coming through. Okay, and then the last note with this section about trusting your gifts is be patient, okay? Again, as I said earlier, like with automatic writing and automatic drawing, if you don't get it right, it's not because you're not intuitive. I'll give you an example. You know, Instagram is doing these like things. It was either Instagram or TikTok. I can't remember. It must have been TikTok. People are doing videos of like, oh, like, ooh, what color is my crystal? Right? And then I get it wrong and I'm like, well, whatever, you know, like maybe I was channeling the crystal behind her. Maybe I, was channeling the energy she was putting into the crystal. Like, again, don't be hard on yourself. It doesn't mean you're not psychic if you don't get the color right or the picture right or the automatic drawing right. It's all just fun. Make it fun, and it practice makes perfect. Although there is no perfect because we're always learning. Okay. Tools and ceremonies. So we went over this a little bit with how to make your place sacred. Something that I like to do is to really get my third eye and crown going. I have created a special space in my home. I'm currently in my husband's office because my home has two beautiful children right now who I know would not give me the time or space for this. But if you go on my Instagram or Facebook at Earth Mother Rising, you can see like sacred spaces are important. And, they can be a space for ceremony. They can be a place where you have your crystals or your tools. It's just a place where you can sit and it's like you meditate by it. It just holds space for your intention, right? So that is important. So find a little nook in your house that you can make sacred. Okay, so other tools to help. So smells. So with your third eye and crown chakra, I didn't make a list because, everyone has their different opinions about this. So, but smells that you feel activate your third eye and crown, okay? For example, I did this, this is saddlewood and lavender, and it's purification and protection. So for me, I like to use that when I'm working with my intuition because I'm like, okay, let's just keep the space clear, and lavender is soothing, saddlewood clears things. So that's what I like to do. Lavender is also purple, right? So representing the crown chakra. And so if you just search online, third eye and crown chakra herbs or incense, that works too. So right now here our incense is almost done. But there are a lot of incenses that, you can get specifically for the third eye or crown, or you can just muscle test and use your intuition. So real quick, let's pause and do I want to show you, that's a really great tool. So if you're not into pendulums to get your answer, there is muscle testing. Okay, so here's the finger muscle test. Okay, so I say, show me yes. So I'm pulling as hard as I can, and I can't let go of this circle. Okay, show me no. No matter how hard I try, I can't, because I'm saying no to my body. Okay, so once you have yes and no determined, okay, let's just use this as an example. Will this spray help activate and protect my crown chakra? I'm pulling as hard as I can. So yeah, this is a good tool. Will this help me with my root chakra? Nope. This isn't meant for the root chakra. And that's fine. It's not going to hurt your root chakra. It's just not the intention behind it, put behind it through this company. It was not for the root chakra. Okay. So that's just an example of how to use muscle testing. And real quick, I'm hoping you can hear me, because I really want to show you the body one, so you can figure out what smells and herbs are going to help you with different chakras. Okay. So you stand up and you say, show me yes. So I'm going to stand here. Okay, body, show me yes. And I fall forward. I'm not intentionally falling forward. My body falls forward. You might fall backward. Just ask your body to show you yes. Okay, show me no. I fall backwards. So this takes practice. Be patient with yourself. You have to trust your body's wisdom. Okay? So once we know yes and no, then I can ask, for example, okay, how many trace minerals do I need today to help purify my third eye? Okay, so I hold it to my body. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Okay, so remember, forward was yes. So yes, I need 1 drop. Yes, I need 2 drops. Do I need 3 drops? No. So I'm going to put 2 drops of this in my water today to help clarify my third eye. Okay, that's just an example, but you can use that muscle testing for basically anything. And you're just asking the energy for that information. Again, anything we can do to get out of the headspace, trusting our heart, our body. And notice I held it by my heart. I always hold it by my heart and asking my heart for the intuition to bring it forward. Okay, so smells. So yes, smells are a great activator. You can use essential oils, sage, incense. With essential oils, just be mindful. They are pretty potent, so like I don't diffuse essential oils every day. Our family is going through a nasal release right now through some patterns that we broke, which were awesome, but we're having a nasal drip because of it. So like I ran the diffuser this morning, but I don't run it like all day. Okay. Incenses are a little more mild, so I do tend to do that like once a day. And then I didn't bring it with me, but I actually have a really cool cauldron, and then you put the coal disc in the middle, and then our local herbalist has a bunch of mixes, so like Sacred Warrior or Love Spell, or those are really fun to burn the herbs. Okay, tools. Crystals. All right. So of course we all know, and I'm going to go through this quick because I know you all know, but I have way too many crystals to bring, but I brought my favorite little pink heart to remind me to come from the heart. And so pink, obviously that's for the higher heart. So, but you can use, if you're going to work on your third eye and crown, if you're going to focus on it, you're going to want a lot of indigos and violets and clear quartz to bring in source energy. You also want to wear the colors that you're working on. So I have purple here and here. It's hard to see. It's a dark purple. I think it's either like a dark amethyst or a darker fluorite. But purple to help me with my crown today. And then I have indigo on my pants. So wearing the colors with the chakra you're working with is really helpful, especially if you have a blockage. Everything's energy, right? So color is energy. So when we bring those colors into our lives through crystals or through our clothes, that helps. And that even goes back to the herbs and the smells. If sometimes again, you have to go with your gut feeling. So like some people, you know, they'll say, you know, lavender is for this. Okay, but I'm going to use lavender for my crown because it's purple and I like colors, right? But others might say lavender is for your heart because it's like for love, or, you know, whatever. Just use your intuition. Again, it's all intention. If you feel it works, then it's going to work because you believe wholeheartedly that it works. And using other people's wisdom is important too, right? So I usually take from a bunch of different sources, and then I come to what works for me and what resonates for me. And when it comes to herbs and colors and crystals to align my chakras. But the easiest way to do it is, you know, third eye, you know, indigo-ish crystals. And then for the crown, obviously, you know, purple, or they do like, you know, clear quartz, because source energy is usually demonstrated through like white or clear diamond light. So that's always the easiest way. Okay, we already talked about the pendulum. Okay, ooh, sound. We didn't really talk about sound yet. We talked about sound when it comes to tuning forks. So you can get tuning forks that are at the frequency. Did I have that anywhere? You can look it up. I don't have it listed, but every chakra has a frequency. I think the crown is like 962 or 932. I can't remember. And I think the third eye is like in the 800s. So like every chakra has its frequency. So what I do is I just YouTube crown chakra healing and activation, or crown chakra sleep, or third eye, you know, whatever, meditation frequency, or healing frequency, or sound healing, or whatever. And then use your intuition to pick the sound that'll work for you. So that's a really great tool. You can also use binaural, I don't know if I'm saying this right, binaural beats as sound. And so that's just a little bit more like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you look it up, it's usually with headphones only, and it's just kind of, it helps the brain waves and activating at a higher rate. It's like a pulsing almost, and you can do that for any chakra, but obviously we're focusing on the third eye and crown. All right, sacred geometry. I don't know if I had my shirt open. I use sacred geometry. I'm not science or math minded. But again, I just use other people's wisdom and tools to help guide me, and sacred geometry is a great way. So, you know, all the chakras have their like Sanskrit sort of image. And so I have a crystal with each chakra that have the special image on it. And I'm not doing this justice because, again, my mind, I go more towards bigger picture. I'm not into the science and math. I understand quantum physics at a very basic level. But anyway, using shapes and sacred geometry in your home, in your space, can also help keep you aligned and activated. But yeah, check out each chakra. I know a lot of people have like the chakra flags in their home, and so you can, like, depending on what chakra you're working on, you can put those flags in a place that you see a lot, like in your kitchen or dining room table or whatnot. So using sacred geometry always helps. Okay, jewelry. This is super important for me. This is one of my favorite tools, as you can see. I wear a lot of jewelry. I'm in the public realm a lot. My 3D job has me with a lot of variety of people in a lot of different places. Whereas when I'm with my clients, I don't feel the need to quite, you know, have so much on. But I have, you know, here I have sacred geometry. I have the pentacle with the tree of life. And then I've got, you know, a bunch of heart chakra crystals, because that's what I'm working on personally right now. I've got moldavite in a sacred, gosh, what is this, like Metatron? No, not Metatron cube. Now I'm blanking what this geometry is, but I don't know why I'm blanking. But yeah, and then I've got a heart. So yeah, I use jewelry to really help keep me in alignment and keep things activated. And then, you know, like today, again, since we were talking about the crown, I wore like a violet color, and then my pants are indigo. I don't have my brass bracelets on. A really great intuitive talked to me about wearing like brass, I think it's called brass, right? Like the gold color bracelets. And technically online it said for like arthritis, but it really helps when I'm working with clients. It really helps ground my energy and keep the energy flowing. It's like kind of like the color of my hair. I think it's brass. But anyway, yeah, those really help, and they had like sacred geometry on them, and any tools you can use and wear on a daily basis can really help speed up the process, right? And so I change these out every day. These are easy because you can actually open them and change the crystal out every day for the energy that you're working with. So jewelry is a really fun way to do it. Okay, just a couple more tools. So EMF protection. When you're tapping into your intuition and your crown chakra, you want to be sure, again, that you have a clear channel. And to have a clear channel, we want to be sure we're not being bombarded with EMFs and all the electronics and now the 5G that's trying to like manipulate our frequency and what we're bringing through. I'm not endorsing this brand. There's a million out there. We just stuck with these and they tend to work, and I love the sacred geometry on the hair. So EMF protection is really important. We have really big discs on our for our laptops and things, and I have a big disc on our modem. When I'm in a really good headspace, I remember to unplug the modem every night to get the internet out of the sphere, because you want you want as few distractions as possible when you're working with the higher chakras. Something else, Organite is always great. Organite's a great tool. There's Organite you can wear. I actually have mine with me now that I say that. Organite pyramids are really great. Shungite, obsidian, tourmaline. There's so many different, any sort of EMF blocking tools are really great when you're working with these higher chakras. So this used to be a necklace. Again, the sacred geometry and the crystals, and the Organite and the EMF protection. But this broke, so apparently I wasn't meant to wear it for a while. Who knows, maybe I'll get it back on. But this is just an example of Organite. And I was wearing it at one point. So we'll see. Maybe I don't need any more. I keep it with me in my backpack just to have, because my backpack, I usually put my phone in my backpack, so it's just another protection for my phone. Speaking of phones, again, remember, this is all just to keep our energy clear. You can't see it, but I do have right here on my phone case that I had to take off so you can hear me. This fits right here. So they do just stick on. So that's important. Do not carry your phone anywhere near your head, of course, or really ideally just not on your body at all. All right, so let's see, how are we doing on time? Yikes, I haven't even checked. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Cool. This is exciting. We got really far. So let's talk about removing blockages really quick. So to check for a blockage, you can use the muscle testing. You can use your pendulum. Say yes or no. You can use a pendulum board and dive deeper, and you can actually have them spell it out to you. If you're asking your higher self and source energy to spell it out for you, make sure you say English, because sometimes I would get some really nonsensical words that are from another dimension. Okay, so asking, let's see, pendulum. Okay, I'll just use the pendulum for now. I could use muscle testing, but I'm already sitting, so. And I want to make sure you can hear me. All right, so let's just go to I already found out about my crown chakra through automatic writing, so I'll ask about my third eye. Okay, what I'm saying is I'm saying all biases aside, bringing in source energy, love consciousness to give me the answer for my highest good. Okay, do I have a third eye blockage? All right, so I'm getting a no because I've got the board facing a certain way. Okay. Is my third eye overactive? Okay, so my third eye is overactive. We forgot to talk about overactive. Okay, so again, in my line of work, being an energy healer and talk therapist, I use my third eye a lot. And so this is telling me I'm ungrounded. I'm bringing in way too much information, so I need to ground myself, take a breather, and obviously after this live video, I'll call in my gatekeepers to give my third eye a little break ski. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to go through another chakra just to see if we can find a blockage real quick, just so you can see the process. Okay, does my root chakra have a blockage? No. Okay, sacral, solar plexus, heart. There we go. Okay, not surprising, my heart chakra has a blockage. I've been working on my heart chakra this whole year. The silver lining of COVID is that really brought up a lot of heart chakra stuff, learning unconditional love. So I'm going to use this board, okay, real quick. First letter, please, of this heart blockage. Okay, so it's these charts have letters across from each other, so then I have to ask, are you showing me the letter B? Are you showing me the letter C? Are you showing me the letter B? Are you showing me W? Yes, W. Okay, so first letter is W. So I'm not going to go through the whole process, but you can see, like, you know, eventually it would spell something out for me to help me, guide me into what that blockage is in my heart. Or I can intuitively write, or I can trust my intuition and just, you know, ask for the answer, right? So there's lots of different ways to do that. But anyway, first you want to find out where the blockage is. Then you can tap into what the blockage is. Now, sometimes you're not going to actually get that answer. So don't get discouraged because sometimes we're not meant to know the blockage yet, because we're meant to process our way through it, right? So I've been working on my heart chakra for a long time, and been working on, like, opening up my inner child and getting back into joy and laughter and love. When I quit drinking alcohol like 7 years ago to heal my Hashimoto's, then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to relearn how to have fun again, because it's so much easier to have fun when I'm not in my body, right? So that was one of the best things I did, is quit drinking alcohol for 6 or 7 years, and now I can have like a organic hard kombucha, like one, but I really can't handle it. When you're an intuitive, it's really tricky because you don't want to open yourself up that way. You want to keep your energy in alignment. So anyway, that's a fun way you can check out your blockages for your third eye. You can ask things like, what am I seeing? Where is my vision not clear? Am I trusting my intuition? Am I trusting what I see in the world? And am I trusting my higher self, my inner knowing? So you can ask yourself those questions. And then if you want to do something similar for your crown chakra, like, am I aligning with unity consciousness? Am I aware? Am I allowing the intelligence to flow through? Am I understanding? Do I believe in miracles? Am I experiencing bliss? Of course, you're not going to be blissful all the time, because we're human and we have to learn and go through processes. But, you know, when your crown chakra is fully activated, and I've been there, I think it comes and goes in waves, but there are moments of bliss where you're just like in the zone and you're channeling source and you're just, oh, it's amazing. But I'm not always there, because I have to learn. I have to go through the human process. I signed up for Earth School. So at Earth School, we learn, right? Yeah, so that's with blockages. What did I want to tap into for, let me go back here. There was something I was going to tap into. I can't remember. It was something about protection. But anyway, so this feels like a good spot to end. We have only a few minutes left, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards for you, again in the alignment of showing you that you do not have to do anything a certain way, right? Okay. Okay. I'm going to do the Archangel cards, because that's a very high frequency energy. Okay. So what I do, again, to practice my intuition, okay, do I need to shuffle these today? No. They're like, no, you don't need to shuffle. Now, that goes against what a lot of other card readers will tell you. Now, I've shuffled these before. I haven't used them in several weeks. So they're like, no, you're fine. Okay. Now, how to choose a card. I use my intuition. Some days I'll just go like that. Oh, that one kind of fell out. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I've got some options here. I could do this one or this one or this one. So I just ask my intuition, right? Okay, so I'm feeling this card. You can muscle test. Like, is this card for me? You can do that. Okay. Okay. So other times, you know, you can also like, you know, shuffle, and then you can do the bottom of the deck. You can wait till they fall out. That's a favorite of a lot of people. I just kind of go with what I feel like for that day. I use a lot of different methods. Because energy is always changing, and so that I just flow with it. Oh, interesting. Okay, we got King of Ariel, successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. Your plans are working out very well, professional and financial success, using resources wisely. So this is really interesting. So as you tap into your third eye and crown chakra, you're going to find yourself bringing in abundance, because you are bringing in source energy, you're bringing in higher frequencies, you're trusting yourself, and finding ways to use your intuition for financial success. And I think that's totally fine. If we aren't abundant, I appealed my relationship with money, and it took me living in 300 square foot tiny house on wheels for 5 years with a child, a husband, 3 cats, and a dog. And then I finally realized I loved it. I did. I minimalized. It served its purpose. But now I'm ready for abundance. So we moved to a place that's very expensive so we can enjoy nature. We're in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, which is extremely expensive, but it's a 5-minute walk to the mountains and a 1-minute walk to the river. Bears come and hang out and try to eat our the garbage in town, and nature's everywhere. So anyway, my point being is, when you tap into your intuition, you're going to start manifesting abundance, because you're trusting what the universe, your guides, your higher self is telling you, and they will guide you into abundance. Because if we are abundant, we can help the collective. If I'm scrounging for organic food and I can't get filtered water, how am I going to be a conduit of source, right? So heal your relationship with money, bring in abundance. All right. Queen of Ariel, mature, practical, generous, happy. That's super interesting. We got king and queen. Nurture yourself. See, synchronicity. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful, practical, and wise advice. All right. I don't even know. I don't even need to say anything for that. But yeah, as you practice your intuition, you're going to see these synchronicities. We talked about this in the whole live session. Nurturing yourself, being a conduit, being in alignment, channeling source energy by taking care of yourself, trusting your intuition by, it says practical and wise advice. You're going to be able to give practical and wise advice as you open your third eye and crown chakra. I'm just going to show you. I love this. Talk about abundance. Look at this picture. Talk about living in abundance, right? This one too. I mean, obviously, king and queen, they're not hurting financially, right? All right, decision. Archangel Jophiel, release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox, unnecessary worry based on a lack of confidence. Oh man, I just love the universe. And look at this, it's like a rainbow with the doves, all the chakras aligned, right? And she's wearing purple. And this is a purple card, your crown chakra. Release yourself from your self-doubt, okay? And from anything that's holding you back. And the only thing holding you back is you. And once you believe in yourself and step into your power, you'll be able to channel information that will help yourself and the collective grow into the age of Aquarius. It needs a detox. So that goes back to what we were talking about with being a clear channel for source energy. And to do that, you want to have a clear body, clean water, food, air. Oh, I forgot to bring up air filters. Air filters and ionizers and ozone. It's like ozone / ionizer. So that's a great way. You gotta have clean air too. All right. Which of course is just getting out in nature as well. And our last card of the day. Another queen, abundance. Queen of Gabriel, passionate, charming, brilliant, independent. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. All right, guys, you are the kings and queens of your reality. And as you open up your intuition and crown chakra, you will be able to have the guidance and wisdom from yourself and source to manifest abundance and your highest good. So I send you off with all the love. May abundance flow to you with ease. May you follow your bliss and live the life you always dreamed of. Peace out.